Welcome to the Golden State Media Concepts Life and Happiness Podcast, the show that takes you on a journey of exploration. We'll discuss tried and true methods alongside the latest trends of how to best live your life to its fullest and happiest. From psychology to meditation, science to self-help books, the GSMC Life and Happiness Podcast will help you to discover what makes you happy and how you can live life being the best you possible.
Welcome to GSMC Life and Happiness Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I am your host, Alyssa Jo. How's it going today? I hope the sun is shining. I hope you're healthy and doing well and staying sane. Today I thought I would talk to you about slowing down. It feels like we're all at a halt right now, but I'm going to talk to you about slowing down to speed up. That's right. If you slow down now, you will be able to move faster, further, and with a way greater purpose, a way more driven and aligned purpose later on. Even, when you feel like you got 1,000,001 things to do, you have so much on your plate, you're starting something new, there is, your life is complex, it's busy, it's crazy. Slow down, and you are going to be speeding up. Sounds weird, I know, but this just is something that I think is so true. If we're able to just slow down at very key times in our lives, it can do wonders for so many different things. And when something big happens, there's a big, moment, like your kid is graduating from school, or you graduate from university, or, something like that. And that's a big moment. And in that moment, that's something that you're going to remember forever. You're going to remember your kid walking across stage, or like you physically walking across stage. Like that is a moment, that, you really, really treasure. And we always just want to try to absorb as much of those big moments as we can. And we try to, we take pictures and, but no matter what, no matter how fast that day goes, usually that day goes super fast too. It always, you're waiting for that day. And as soon as it comes, it flies by, no matter what. But that is something that we'll always remember because it's a distinctive, important milestone in our lives. It's distinctive. And in a sense, we kind of really slow down. And maybe it's the build up to that day, that makes us slow down. Maybe because we're so rushed to that day, and then all of a sudden the day is here and it's like, and I find that we kind of take a step back. Whether we're physically, walking across the stage, or we're sitting there in the audience watching someone we care about walk across the stage, have that moment in their life, it creates a moment in our life. And we kind of just absorb it and we appreciate it because we know that it's a milestone, if that makes sense. So what if we slowed down and we experienced more? And we had more milestones, and we had more things happening in our life that, really make a difference, that really, make us grow. And what if we take the time to slow down and to reflect and absorb and to appreciate those moments more? The ordinary moments, in our everyday life, things that are just, you wake up, you start your routine, you start your day. There is so many moments throughout our day that we blow by and we take advantage of. But those ordinary moments, can really make a change in our lives if we're able to slow down and experience and absorb every single part of that and really, really experience everything. So slow down. Slow down and you're going to speed up. If you ever feel, like your timing is off, you never feel like everything's kind of aligned, everything in your life, there's some aspects you feel are right and aligned with where you should be, but then there's always, some other aspects that, might not be the right timing, and it might just feel off. And I'm not saying that, everything in our life has to feel exactly right in the exact right timing, to really, grasp that. We're always going to have things in our lives that aren't, quite aligned with everything else maybe. But if you constantly feel that, there is something that's it's just off, your timing is off, you're never quite, where you need to be or meeting who you need to be. Like, if you constantly feel like you're meeting the right person at the wrong time, maybe it's you. It sounds bad, but like, maybe it's you not slowing down, and maybe it's you not appreciating those moments. And, if you ever feel like you're not in the right place at the right time, maybe it's you. What is the common denominator here? And it's us. We have to focus on us, right? We have to put our happiness in the hands of ourselves. We are the only people that can make us happy. You are the only person that can make you happy. And sometimes it is us that is off timing. And I think that comes down to a lot of rushing and trying to, speed things up and get to, where you want to be 10 times faster, and which is all great. And, when you have that work ethic and you have that mindset of, this is where I want to be and this is where I want to go, sometimes that takes over and we go into overdrive. I am guilty of this myself. I go into overdrive and I work because maybe I'll get there faster. And, I've really, really started to realize that that's not always, the best case. If you finish first, doesn't mean you had the best race. Maybe you, does that make sense? I don't know if I'm making sense. But the thing is if you feel like your timing's off, if you feel like you're not in the right place, sometimes we look to the universe, we look to other factors in our life. We're like, screw you, universe, why'd you put me in the wrong place at the, or the right place at the wrong time? Or, why did you do that? Why did you introduce me to the right person at the wrong time? Or why am I here when I should be there, And we blame outside factors instead of just blaming ourselves. No, I shouldn't say blaming ourselves. I should say, holding ourselves accountable to really progressing and tracking our progress and being true to ourselves. We need to hold ourselves accountable to be true to ourselves. We have to hold ourselves accountable to really, align ourselves with where we want to go. And I think that always starts with knowing where you want to go and having goals and being, goal orientated. And I'm not saying, have a dream of where you want to be in 5 years. And I'm not saying that you're going to try to cut that to get there in 3 years, because, we all want to try to get to our dreams as quickly as possible. But the importance is to slow down and experience the process. We always say, like, life is a journey. It's not an event. And I love that saying, because it's true. We have to enjoy the journey. We have to enjoy the process, which is so cliche. You've heard that so many times, but I'm here to say it again to you. Slow down, experience things. We're trying to accomplish so many goals, and we have so many things on our agenda. And, it's not just ourselves for being, goal orientated or, wanting things out of life. I think that's amazing to have those ambitions. But sometimes, we just overload ourselves and we actually become less productive, and we actually start to enjoy it less because we've overloaded ourselves with so many things that it's a lot. And it can become, very draining. And that's when we freeze. That's when we have a breakdown. That's when we overwork ourselves and we stop working altogether because we've overloaded ourselves so much. We have, as humans, we have an excessive need for speed. It's true. I don't care, as soon as I thought of that, I thought of playing a video game, a car video game, Need for Speed, and you go for it, and it's silly things like in games that, we have this need for speed, or we hop behind our car, and a lot of us get that adrenaline rush from going fast. You want to go on a fast roller coaster. You want to experience things fast. You want to go down a water slide super speedy, you want to all these different things that's fun and that's exciting to majority of us. But we also have the excessive need for speed in our lives. We want to get to the end as quickly as possible. I know growing up, all I wanted to do was be grown up. I just wanted to be older. I just wanted to be mature, and I wanted to, have my own place and have a career and, be graduated school and be on my way. I was just so ready to just grow up. I wanted to skip 10 steps because, when you're young, all you want to do is grow up, and then you get older and you're like, all I want to do is get young. And that's why we need to stop this excessive need for speed, the excessive need to want to get there as quickly as possible. It can really take over a lot of aspects of our lives. So we got to slow down, we got to appreciate, and I'm going to give you some tips on how we can do that, how we can get into that mindset, the benefits of slowing down so that you do speed back up, all of these things. I'm talking about experiencing, and you're like, well, how does that make me speed up? And, well, first of all, it's going to make you happier, and I think that's the goal of life is to be happy. And so experiencing more things, you get more joy out of the things that you're doing, and right there, that makes you speed up, that makes you get to where you want to be. It gets you happy. And it can speed up so many other things. So I have so much information with you. I'm rambling on and on, but stay tuned. We're going to jump right back in to some tips. We're going to go over, why we have this excessive need for speed and just things that you can do so you can slow down and speed right back up. Okay, stay tuned.
Are you tired of the same old news? Are you sick of the seemingly endless political spin and negativity? The GSMC America's Still Beautiful podcast is a weekly news podcast covering all the top positive and uplifting news stories. We cover stories that will inspire, uplift, and remind you of the good in the world. Tune into the Golden State Media Concepts America's Still Beautiful podcast to get all the great and positive news stories of today. Download the GSMC America's Still Beautiful podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, or anywhere you find podcasts. Just type GSMC in the search bar.
Welcome back to GSMC Life and Happiness Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. Okay, today we're talking about slowing down to speed up. Sounds weird, I know, but this can be really related to so many different aspects of your life for so many different reasons. I was just talking about, the need for speed, and we all kind of have that to get where we want to go as fast as possible. But our need for speed really affects the quality of our life. If we are skipping over things, if we're trying to, skip steps and just get there as quickly as possible, we are not absorbing all beautiful things that life offers to us. If you're the type of person that, really overloads your schedule, like back-to-back meetings, back-to-back things to do, you skip meals to get work done, and you just never feel like there's, not enough time during the day, ever. Well, doing this and overloading your schedule and feeling like that actually causes more stress. It causes you to be less focused and less engaged, which means you're going to be less productive, which defeats the whole purpose of trying to get, as fast as you can, get there as fast as you can. If you overload your workload so much, you're not going to be productive. First of all, you're not going to be able to put your energy and your focus properly into those things, and the quality of your work is not going to be ideal. It's not going to be something that, it's maybe something that skims by, just like you're trying to skim by, but it's not your quality of work. It's not, exactly, what you want, or, but sometimes we settle for that because it's just like, well, I'll just, I got to get it done. I just got to get it done. I have to meet my deadline. And deadlines are stressful, and this is why we overload ourselves. But if we actually give ourselves breaks and we give ourselves time to relax and recoup and we just reboot ourselves, basically, we actually end up having better quality of work. We can end up getting more done, in an hour. If you sit down and you try to get all this stuff done, but your head is already at, what's the next thing I have to do next hour? What's your quality of work going to be like for that? Probably not very great. It's probably not going to be the best situation. It's not going to be your best quality, your best job. And you're going to kind of skim by so many different things. So slow down. And if you actually less pack your schedule, is that the term I'm looking for? If you cut down your schedule a little bit, you give yourself breaks, you give yourself time to breathe, you're going to find that, a lot of positive things happen with your work, with your happiness, your progress, where you're going next. It all kind of goes full circle. We really get into this mindset of work. We have to keep moving constantly. I personally often feel like there is not enough time during the day. I'm going through a super busy time in my life, and I'm constantly like, there's just not enough time. But I need to, slow down, or else my quality of work and my quality of life is not going to be where it needs to be. And you're going to run yourself out. You're also going to make yourself sick if you're overloading your work schedule like crazy. We become addicted to moving fast, and this is our need for speed that we become addicted to. We can fly through some paperwork and move on to the next, and it might make us feel better at the time that we're getting things done, but if we're not actually absorbing and being present with those things, we're maybe not retaining any of that information, and maybe we're gonna have to go back and look at it anyways. And the thing is we can just be addicted to getting things done, to just doing what we need to do to get by. And I think that's just not the way that we should be living. We should be slowing down and actually absorbing and experiencing and really understanding all the things that we're doing in our lives. We think of the word busy as this amazing thing. When you hear somebody how busy they are, it's like we have this sense of, we look up to them. We're like, oh, that person's so busy. They got so much going on. We look at that as praise. We praise those people for being busy. And we want to be busy too. Often people will actually feel guilty if they're not busy enough. And that sometimes they'll lie. Sometimes people just lie about being busy just to fit in. How silly is that, lying about being busy? But I get it. It can hurt your ego when you're hanging out with people that are, so busy and have so much going on, and you're like, I don't feel like I have that much going on. Yeah, but take a look at your stress levels compared to those people's stress levels. Take a look at your quality of life to maybe their quality of life, and maybe there is some more things that you need to add to your schedule, or maybe there's quite a few things that you can cut out of your schedule, or that you can make more room for breathing breaks and reality a little bit. So this all kind of comes full circle. We want to be busy. We need this need for speed, and we're just go. We want to get to where we want to be as fast as possible. And this can really take a toll on us and take a toll on our quality of work and our quality of life. Something that I want to say that is so important is what we say to ourselves influences how we think, how we feel, and the things that we do. I think we've talked about this in other episodes as well. The way that you talk to yourself, the way you talk out loud to other people, that has a huge impact on your quality of life, your happiness, and everything else. So that's why I want you to replace the B word, busy with a different word, and that's focus. Replace busy with focus. So how exactly do I replace busy with focus? How do we even begin to slow ourselves down? Well, the thing is, with slowing ourselves down, sometimes we just need to start slow. Test some things out. See what works for you. It's going to be different for everybody. Do literal physical things slower. Breathe slower. Eat slower. Ease into your day. Don't wake up and jump right to your paperwork. Wake up. Have a cup of coffee. Stretch. Go for a walk. Eat some breakfast. Chill out. Ease into your day. Stretch. Just check your daily planner. What do I got planned today? Can I make any more rooms for time to breathe? Do I need to, exactly finish that project tonight? Can I move it to a different day that seems less busy this week that I can add something to? These are all things that we can reflect and that we can question. So sometimes we need to really find that happy medium of slowing down, and this can be very difficult for people to slow down when they're always in hyper speed, go, get so many things done at once. But we have to slow down to go faster. And when we do slow down to go faster, we create this space for grace. Now, a lot of the information that I'm sharing with you today, I got from a TED Talk that I listened to recently that kind of inspired me to slow down and really reflect on things. It was from a guy named Ralph Simon, and he did a really good job of explaining the whole slow down to speed up thing, and I took a lot of my information from that TED Talk because it really impacted me. And he started this TED Talk by talking about how he got a speeding ticket on the way to a time management seminar. And that time management seminar, he was actually teaching. And that actually made me laugh out loud. You're going to a time management seminar that you're teaching how people to time manage their lives, and you're getting a speeding ticket. That is the exact example of literally needing to slow down to speed up. When you get a speeding ticket, it makes you even later than you were going to be anyways. Think of it that way. That's how I always think. I'm like, okay, I'm running late, but if I speed and get a speeding ticket, I'm going to be even more late. So I just need to chill out and breathe. So sometimes slowing down to speed up can be physical, just like that. He should have slowed down to be on time for his time management seminar. But I thought that was pretty funny. But the thing is when we slow down to go faster, we create this space for grace. We create our space for attention and connecting that to the present moment. We have our full attention, we have our space for grace, and we have the present moment. And when we create that space, this connects our full attention to the present moment. But we have to create that space in between. So when we tap into our collective unconscious, this is where everything is possible. This is in the space that we can connect to our intuition, which we all know is important to listen to our gut and the universe and how we're feeling really, really in our guts and really understanding that intuition. We connect to our inspiration, which is so key to so many aspects of it. We need to be inspired to work every day, to create, to educate, to be educated. We have to be inspired to be in that area, that mindset. And then we also create this and connect to our intention. And our intention is the key to slowing down to speed up. We have to activate the law of intention. What is in your mind and what is your intention? This is the exact thing that's going to help you slow things down. Do you constantly want to be in a rush? Or do you want to create and experience life in the happiest form that's going to benefit you and make you grow even faster than, you trying to skip over a few steps and just get to the end? Actually experiencing and understanding your intention and your why and what's going on in your mind does wonders to your growth, and you're going to find that you are already becoming the person you want to be by setting that attention and just slowing down. Okay, So I'm going to go into more depth with that after this break. I have 4 steps of exactly how you can slow down to speed up and really connect with your intuition, your inspiration, and your intention. Stay tuned.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. Hey! The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
Welcome back to GSMC Life and Happiness Podcast. I'm sharing some information with you about slowing down to speed up. When we are able to make that space for grace, is what we call it, we're able to connect our full attention to the present moment. And that's what we need to be productive and precise and to go exactly where we want to go. You know what I mean? So there's 4 steps that can help us slow down to speed up. There's so many different aspects that can really help us slow down to speed up, but I find that these 4 steps can really do wonders. This is another thing I got from that TED Talk that kind of hit me. So number 1 is weekly planning. That is setting your intention for the week. That is setting your goal. You know, you don't just have your long-term goals, but you have your short-term goals. You have the goals that make you, your goals that make you, keep moving and to keep bettering yourself. And that's setting a plan for the week, and organizing your life, can do wonders. But this is where you need to, really recognize to not overload your schedule and your planning, and to really space it out. I find that having like a visual write down calendar, like I like using my phone as reminders for things that I have to do. But if I put out like a physical calendar in front of me and I can see the entire month, I find that really helps me not overload my schedule. It helps me really see it visually, that I can break it down into, shorter days. So try that. Try to lay out a physical calendar when you do your planning, and I think that really helps. This tip is say weekly planning, but I even think if you're able to do somewhat of a monthly plan, obviously things change in our lives and things come up, and you don't know what kind of workload you're going to have next week sometimes, but if you can do like a basic monthly plan, I think that can really lay things out for you. Number 2 is daily meditation. This is literally training your intention. You got to train your intention with the meditation. What do you want to create? What do you want to inspire? Where do you want to connect? Who do you want to connect with? Create that intention with that. Find your inspiration with that, and let it help you train your intention of what to do next and your next step. Number 3 is daily journaling. And daily journaling really allows you to hold yourself accountable. I talk a lot about journaling. I talk a lot about writing things down, because I don't know where my life would be if I didn't write things down. I write lists, I write journals, I write, and it keeps me sane. which sounds insane to some people, how much I make my list and I write, but that's something that helps me. And I really do think that keeping a daily journal and tracking the things that you have done and how you're feeling, if you are feeling overwhelmed, you can go back and you can look at previous days and previous weeks and, connect and actually figure out the root of the problem. Where is the times that I do feel more overwhelmed? Is it when you're doing a certain type of work? Is it a certain time of day? Is it just your mood? Is it just happen randomly? This is all, you can go back and you can reflect, and this can really help you create that space for grace. Reflection can really help you kind of understand that you do need to slow down, that you are able to cut some things out of your schedule, and you are able to understand that is okay, which sometimes can be the hardest part, is coming to terms that it's okay to slow down. For someone that, is a perfectionist or a workaholic, grasping that concept can be very difficult. And I get that. So reflect, and that can help you create that space for grace and really understand more of your own kind of space for grace and your own scheduling and just kind of what you need. And now number 4 is disconnecting from technology. We're constantly in information overload. Constantly. We're constantly getting information on the internet, social media, just checking the news, listening to the radio, turning the TV on. There is so much information being thrown at us all the time. And we really need to try and take that in. But I think what's really healthy too is blocking it out sometimes. Sometimes we need to not be connected to that technology. And once we disconnect from technology, I think we're able to actually focus on us. And putting your phone away when you need to do work is huge. And it's difficult sometimes. I was told that back in 2017, our attention span as humans was 8 seconds. 8 seconds is less than a goldfish. Yes, less than a goldfish. And that's because of our smartphones and things like that. So disconnect from technology and you're automatically going to feel more present. So those are the 4 kind of main steps that I kind of started with as well, with kind of slowing down and to move faster. So try those 4 things, but it's gonna be different for everybody. I think a huge thing that we need to do as well to slow down, to speed up, is being mindful. I think that being mindful in general is a huge step in being happy and fulfilling our lives, and just practicing mindfulness, being aware of everything. I think it's super important to take, some time every single day to redirect your attention inwards and to yourself, because this can really help you fuel your energy. It can help your mindset, your emotions, our physical bodies. And the best way to turn that, attention inwards is to slow down and to come centered and align yourself with your core beliefs and just become present in the world. Now, sometimes there's different places that you might feel, mindfulness is easier for you. Go to those places, get in that mindset and connect inwards. And that's automatically just going to slow you right down. I find nature really helps me. Going outside for a walk really helps me, form new ideas and become present with myself and become present with my imagination as well. I find that I get different ideas when I'm in nature, and it makes me feel comfortable in nature because I feel present, and you don't have a million things going on in your head. I think just in general, the best way to slow down is to become present. Of course, that's easier said than done, but if you get a good night's sleep and you actually relax your mind and your body before you fall asleep, and you take the time to really rest. If you're not rested, your mind is going to wander all day. Have you ever been so overtired and you literally can't focus on anything, and you feel like your mind is going in a million different directions? It's because it is going in a million different directions because you didn't get enough rest and your body is torturing you for it. At least that's how I see it. Get your sleep, get a good night's sleep, and this is going to force you, to actually be present, because your mind's not going to wander as much. Another thing is to fuel your body with the right food and nutrients. We can't run on protein bars and soda from your work vending machine. We can't run on that. We can't run on, takeout fast food all the time. We need to properly fuel our body to focus. Think of food as fuel. We have to fuel our cars. We have to fuel our bodies. And if you put in, the wrong type of gas into your car, it's not going to move very well. Same with your body. If you put the wrong type of food into your body, your mind and your body, it's not going to work very well. You're not going to go very fast. So make sure that you're fueling your body with the proper things. Wake up early in the morning. Have your time to relax in the morning. Spend time in nature. Appreciate your surroundings in the outdoors. Like I said, my imagination gets going when I'm outside, and that's inspiration for me when I get new cool ideas. As of right now, a lot of us are kind of forced to be slowed down with school closing, jobs closing, places are shutting down during this pandemic. This is kind of part of the reason I want to talk to you about this today. We need to take this time to appreciate the slowdown and the reset. We need to take the time to make the most of it and use it to our advantage by doing the things that we never feel like we have time for. If we can learn something new. I've done 2 episodes now talking about isolation and keeping yourself busy and self-care. Check those out. I did explain a lot of the things that, slowing down, that you can do while you're slowing down in this, even though it is a forced slowdown. I just think that we should, take this time and use it wisely if we can, as much as we can, because I think that that's going to help us stay in a positive mental mindset. When we rush through life and we're never going to experience or get the most out of it, you will go through life and you'll maybe get lots done, but will you ever really be doing those things? Probably not, because you're not completely present. You're always focused on the next step or where to go next, and you're not really experiencing all those things. So you can say that you did all these things and you got to your career as quickly as possible, but did you enjoy the journey? I don't know, and that's something that you'll have to, really think about. Have I enjoyed my journey till now? Do I really need to slow down? I think once you do slow down, you're going to speed back up. Slow down. You're going to get more done. You're going to learn new things about yourself. You're going to become passionate about things that you didn't know you could be passionate about. You're going to understand yourself and the people around you and your surroundings. And then you're going to speed back up. And by speeding up, I mean you're going to be mentally, physically, all around happier, healthier. You're going to experience and you're going to connect with better people in our world. You're going to be able to hold yourself accountable to reasonable amount of tasks that better you. And you're going to have pride for being able to accomplish all those things and to accomplish them well and enjoy accomplishing them. You're going to understand and you're going to trust the process. Slow and steady really does win the race. So take the time to be slow, take the time to be steady, master your craft, master something new, experience and enjoy every single step of the journey. Life is a journey, it's not an event. So make the most out of your journey. Okay? That is all the information that I have for you today. Thank you so much for listening to GSMC Life and Happiness Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I am your host, Alyssa Jo. I had an amazing time sharing all this information. As always, do not forget to follow us on social media, to hit that subscribe button, and to leave a 5-star review. It is greatly appreciated, and I cannot wait to share more information with you next time. Thank you.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Life and Happiness Podcast, part of the GSMC Podcast Network. You can find the show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcasts on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, or anywhere you find podcasts. Just type in GSMC to find all of our shows from the GSMC Podcast Network. From sex and relationships to health and wellness, life and happiness, and even weird news. You can also follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's episode of the Golden State Media Concepts Life and Happiness Podcast.